You're doing the breaststroke as well.
I am.
Oh, well, it's obviously the best swimming style to do. Hi, I'm Matt.
I'm Chris, and welcome to another Monkey Monday.
Monday. Right. Did you get it right? I'm not sure. It is.
I think I got it right.
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
So we're going to quickly look today at a digital strategy, what it is and how to get one together. It's a very brief, as we can make it, introduction to this because they're quite complicated things.
Yeah, but luckily we've got Matt, who is our digital strategy expert on hand. Well, yeah, one of them. But so what is a digital strategy, Matt?
Okay, so in short, a digital strategy should be a set of KPIs, which are key performance indicators, to achieve a goal online. So to give an example, it could be, we need to get 10,000 hits on our website, and if we do that, we will sell 500 hats.
Wow, that's a great example.
It's a good example,
really like
isn't
that, yeah. So why would you create a digital strategy?
Well, the most important thing we think you can get from a digital strategy is it helps measure your return of investment when you are spending money for your online marketing. So especially within big companies, hopefully such as yourself, when you have managers at the top who don't really want to have to understand everything involved in their online marketing, what it allows, the strategy should allow you to give them at the end of it is, look, if we hit all of these targets, then for every £1 you're spending, you should hopefully get £20 back. That'd be a pretty good return of investment. So good. We'll have to see how yours measures up against that. What it can do as well is it can help identify opportunities for growth. So when you put your strategy together, you might look at all of this together and go, well, hang on a minute, we're a really visual company here. Our product's super visual. It is the most visual product in the world, but we're not doing anything on YouTube. Is there opportunity here? So in doing a bit of research at the start of your strategy, you might see some real opportunities of where you could actually funnel some money and some time and effort to get a return.
So that should provide some focus of where to put your budgets then?
It should do. So once you have that strategy in place, you can maybe on a monthly basis, you can look at your KPIs and where you're not quite hitting them, and you can adjust your behavior. So perhaps you have a KPI around domain authority. Maybe that's something that you've determined is important. Domain authority is the measure of how important your website is. And maybe that's your goal. Maybe you're trying to get to a domain authority of 40. And you might look at how you're doing after the third month. You might go, well, we're a bit low on domain authority. So you might want to really pay some attention to some backlinking and building up some more social media activity to try and help improve that domain authority.
Okay, so let's look at exactly how we'd go about doing it. So the first point is analysis and research.
Yeah, so you can instruct a company to help you with your digital strategy, or you can start doing it yourself. There's simple processes to go in place to do it. So the first thing you're going to need to do is to do some analysis. Have a look what sort of traffic you are getting, what sort of traffic you want to get, and where you want to get that traffic from. So in doing your analysis, you should be able to determine keyword analysis. You should be able to look at your social media makeup and your audiences on that. You can look at your competition, but the analysis is a really important part because it gives you all of those early numbers to help you do the next part. And the next part is then working through those channels. So trying to get a good idea of where you want your audience to find you. So is it through paid advertising on Google? Is it through organic social media? Is it through answering questions on the Google Answer Bank? Is it a branded thing? Maybe everyone's looking for you from your brand. So what you want to do is determine what those are. Roughly, you've got organic, you've got paid, you've got referral traffic, so traffic coming from other sources, you've got social media, and maybe you've got a really good newsletter list. Maybe a lot of it comes from email. And
some of these will be more expensive and some of these will be cheaper to do?
Well, it depends on your industry, really. So, I mean, we've done some analysis recently for a security-based business, and the cost per click for Google AdWords is very expensive. So you might find, after doing some of that analysis and research, that it's less expensive to go down a different paid route for your paid advertising. Maybe social media paid is a better way to go, or YouTube advertising or something like that. So yeah, they can vary, but they vary from business to business as well.
So you've got to do your sums.
Yes, once you've got there, you've got a lot of maths to do. So what you want to do is look at that traffic and work out the cost of getting that traffic to you. And the next important numbers you need to look at is, well, first off is your business goals. So what are you actually trying to achieve? If you're trying to achieve X amount of turnover, how much traffic do you need to get to your website? How much of that do you need to convert into actual sales, and what is the value of that? And once you work that backwards, you should be able to do some maths to sort of say, well, okay, paid is going to work for me, social is going to work for me. You might go, I've looked at how competitive it is to get to the top few spots in Google organically, and that might be a really good win for you. So it's a case of looking through those channels, working out where your opportunities lie, and then trying to tweak it so that the maths works in your favor.
And then set some realistic goals of where you're going to get to.
Yeah, so you're going to know, hopefully, you may not have any of these stats yet, but certainly after a short amount of time, if you're a startup, you should be able to see what traffic you are getting. You should know how many Facebook followers you have. You can run your site through tools such as Moz to find out what your domain authority is. So you should have a base starting point, and then you can set yourself some realistic goals that will help you achieve the traffic and conversion you need to get that return on investment. So, you know, it's pointless if you're getting like 1,000 visits to your website a month and you have a budget of £500 to kind of say, well, I now want 5 million visits to my website a month. It's not a realistic goal. So the sums should really help you get those goals to be realistic.
Yeah, and on the journey then we reflect and adjust our strategy to keep going.
I think certainly when you start out and you've built your first ever strategy, you're going to be wrong probably. So it's important after the first 2 or 3 months you're going to have a much clearer picture of how that strategy is working and whether your assumptions were right. So you use the data to refine the strategy.
So is that how long you need to wait between changing things? Like a couple of months, 3 months?
Again, it can vary. It depends on how much budget you have. So if you really throw a load of budget really early at the start, you're going to get the numbers back to be able to make some quality decisions. If you're starting with a fairly small budget, then it's probably going to take longer for you to be able to make some decisions based on the amount of traffic you're getting. So if you're basically through organic and paid buying yourself 1 million hits or 1 million visits, 1 million sessions, however you want to call it, to your website, you've got a lot of data to work with there. You've got 1 million sort of units to measure, whereas if you're just putting £10 in and you're buying just a couple of 100 people, it's harder to make those decisions.
All very useful information, Matthew.
Thank you very much, Christopher.
I'm going to go off and sell a load of hats now.
Yeah, I think you should, yeah. So importantly, there's probably some sort of document under here. Perhaps it's our own example of a digital strategy that you can use as a bit of a template. We generally do these things and then make up the content afterwards. So who knows what's down there? Could be anything. Run, it's a shark!